everybody! So today we are talking about the 7th Disney Canon film. We are talking about The Three Caballeros. The Three Caballeros was released in 1944 and it was the second in the Goodwill series that was actually made by a grant from the State Department. They were trying to stop Latin American countries from going over to the Nazis, and so they gave Disney a grant to make Saludos Amigos and The Three Caballeros. And The Three Caballeros is more of an actual film and less of a Sesame Street episode than Saludos Amigos. And I have to say I liked it better on this watch than I did when I was reviewing it for the blog. And I don't know, there were just certain things in the animation that stood out a lot more to me. It's still a packaged film. It's still not like the best of Disney, but it's definitely something worth watching. And it was a landmark film in its day because of the way that it combined live action and animations. It starts with this conceit that it is Donald's birthday and he's opening up presents, and each one of the presents kind of leads to a short or a segment. There are 7 segments within the film, and then there's also sort of in between segments where you get to have songs and Donald and everything like that. The first segment is called The Cold-Blooded Penguin. This is based on the penguins, I guess, that are in the Patagonia area of Argentina. And there is a penguin that dreams of making it out of the cold weather into the tropics, and he starts on a journey to get to the warm weather, and it's kind of cute and fun. The Flying Gachito. It starts out, there's this bird called the Arakan bird, and you see it throughout the movie, and there's this little boy who is hunting for the Arakan bird, but instead he ends up finding this flying donkey, and the flying donkey named Burrito, he ends up entering in a race that everybody thinks he's silly, that why would he think that this little donkey could win in this big race, but they don't know that he can fly. So that's kind of the story. It's cute. I enjoy it. We get Joe Carioca, who is the parrot that we met in Saludos Amigos. And Bahia is a state of Brazil, and it is basically, there's this pop-up book, and Joe introduces us to Bahia. And
have you been to Bahia, Donald? No? Well, let's go. If you go to Bahia, my friend, you'll never return. E muita sorte teve, muita sorte tem, e muita sorte terá. Have you been to Bahia, Donald? Well, let's go.
And it's just basically introduce you to the dance, to the samba, to other things like that. This is where we meet Aurora Miranda, who was evidently a very famous singer, Brazilian singer at the time. And this is where Donald starts basically like lusting after these human women, which is a very weird part of this movie. And something I really didn't like the last time I saw it, but I didn't mind it quite as much this time, but it's still weird. It's very strange. The next section is called Los Posadas. This is basically about Mexican children talking about the Christmas story and about Mary looking for the room at the inn and everything. It feels a little out of place, but the animation's really pretty in it, so I didn't mind it too much. Get to Mexico, we meet a rooster named Panchito who gives Donald a piñata, and he also sings with Joe and Donald the Three Caballeros song, and we get some amazing animation that is very, very, very fast. It's very spinny.
Nos guían las estrellas con nuestras guitarras. No vamos así, cantando, bailando la samba y caramba. Yes, ay caramba. Pues hombre, no sé.
It's pretty great to watch. I like the song. I think it's a lot of fun. We also get a long segment called Mexico, Pátzcuaro, Veracruz, and Acapulco. And this is a frustrating segment in a way, but it's also an interesting segment. We get a lot of the combined live action animation in this segment with Aurora Miranda and other people, where Joe, Panchito, and Donald are learning how to dance and they're learning to do all this stuff. But it's also a lot of Donald chasing after women, which gets old really, really quick. And we get a song called You Belong to My Heart, and this is where Donald basically like falls in love with this woman named Dora Luz.
You belong to my heart.
She's beautiful.
And forever in our long-headed star.
Oh, God.
Not long ago, we were gathering stars while a million guitars played our love song.
Pretty song, but it's again more of sort of Donald pining after women, and it's not my favorite. And basically the last segment is really bizarre. It's called Donald's Surreal Reverie. And this is where Donald gets an imagined kiss from Dora Luz, and he goes kind of crazy. And he starts to see all kinds of images of legs and weird surrealist artwork and dancing, and it's just nuts. But it's kind of entertaining, but I don't really like the objectification of women in it. It kind of bothers me, all the Donald just chasing after women. I'm kind of torn on the Three Caballeros, to be honest. I don't really like the Donald pining after the women, and I just think it's a little weird. This duck is like in love with all these human women, and he's just chasing after the women. But I can't deny that the artistry is really, really great in this, and that it was so landmark in its time of the merging of live action and animation. And I appreciate the music in it. I think that's really good. I think but I'm definitely higher in it than I was when I first watched it. So I would say I would give the Three Caballeros a C+. Because of all of the landmarks, and that is an entertaining watch, because I do think it's entertaining. I do think it's worth watching. It's interesting, but it's not one that I would really want to watch a lot. And it does have the Donald chasing after the women stuff, which I think gets old quickly, and a few other stuff that's a little bit dry. But the stuff that's good is really, really good, and I definitely recommend you checking it out. So let me know if you like the Three Caballeros, if you've seen it. Put in your comment section. And thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.